Oh, their apologies. Well, we all know that they don't actually stand for anything or they don't actually mean a lot. Because if they meant it, they would do something about it and they wouldn't repeat the same behavior over and over again. But my friends, they do. So it isn't real. However, some of us get caught up in it. Some of it sounds so real because sometimes their actions match their behaviors. Today, I'm going to break down the psychology of what is going on and how you can spot a fake apology like that. Watch this video. Hello, my friends. I hope that you're all doing really well. Just quickly wanted to make this video because this is something that I have been facing actually this week in my therapeutic work with my clients. So I really wanted to kind of explore this topic a little bit more and give you a little bit more psychological kind of understanding behind why this is happening. And actually, it's not just applying to narcissists with apology, it's going to be also anybody. How do you know that when someone is apologizing, that they mean it, that it is real? So this is something that I really want to look at in this video. We all know that they are not apologies, they are tactics. Okay, that's what's happening here. And the bottom line is that actually what it is. It's basically apologies aren't a response, they're tactics. So why do they do them? Well, let's explore that in this video. So why all of these fake apologies? Yeah, like you would think, if you don't mean it, don't say it, just move on. Why does the narcissist keep apologizing and keep doing the same thing and keep staying in your life? That's the issue. That's really what the conundrum is here, because if you are healthy, you are not going to behave like this and you're not going to be doing this. Well, let's understand the psychology behind it. Well, first of all, the apology. Well, the main issue here is if they apologize to you, that means that they're taking accountability. That means that they're recognizing that there was something wrong in their behavior, that they've done something wrong. Okay, and that their behavior was wrong. So they're taking accountability. Now, if they say sorry, that's what it's going to prove. That's what it's going to show you. They don't want to do that, because if they take accountability, that means that they were wrong. That means that you have something over them. And what that means is that they will lose control. Bottom line, they will lose control if they apologize to you and they mean it. A lot of them say it. I know. A lot of you are like shouting at the screen going, yeah, but Anushka, like mine has said it. Mine has like gone to therapy. Mine has done this. Mine is like, are they really a narcissist? Well, this is what you got to think, okay? If this person, it's not just an isolated one behavior. There's a whole host of things that will contribute to narcissistic behavior. It's not just one thing, that they lie or they apologize or they do this. It's a combination of, or a whole collection of behaviors that will determine if this person is narcissistic or whether what they are saying is truthful. The ultimate goal here, what we have to remember, is not connection, but control. An apology literally is another reset tool in their dynamic. So let's reset the relationship. Let's just get on with what we were doing. Sweep it under the carpet like it doesn't mean anything. Why are you going mad? Why are you getting upset? It wasn't a big deal. Just forget about it. Because then they're not being held accountable. That's why they're doing it. And you see, on the other hand, your mind is hardwired for closure and repair. So you want to know, okay, this is the closure. This is what's happened. Let's close this chapter and let's repair it. So you're more likely to go along with it and say, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, let's just forget about it. Probably in the early days, that's what was happening. But as time goes on, that reaction wears thin, because actually you want to be able to understand why this person has done this. You want to be able to close this and move on. We don't want to be in agony. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. But this is what the narcissist makes us do, like to kind of sweep it under the carpet, like not to notice, not to pull them up on their behavior so that they don't have to give you explanations. And that's where the trap lies, my friends. That's where it catches you out, because they know that a simple apology bypass, this is logic, my friends, this is logic. If they keep doing this, you're going to stop asking questions eventually, because it's going to wear you down. Or if they shout at you, you're going to be walking on eggshells. So you're not going to be questioning their behavior. And all of this is about controlling the whole situation so that the whole illusion, so that you don't see who they are, that this doesn't come out. You don't see it. That's what they are doing here, my friend. But remember, they're not apologizing to make things right. No, no, no. They're apologizing to reopen the door. They slammed shut with disrespect. So here are just some most common kind of fake apologies. This is how you can determine whether this apology is fake. The non-apology. Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Oh my God, who says that? That's like literally putting the blame back onto you. Basically, they're calling you too sensitive. Basically, the way that you are seeing the situation, the way that it's making you feel, you're too sensitive. And you shouldn't be feeling like that. It's basically get over yourself. That's what they're really saying to you. Then we've got the conditional apology. Wow, sorry. Like, I didn't even think that was such a big deal. So what they're really saying is they're making you feel guilty for making them feel hurt. So basically, you're taking responsibility for their actions. You see what they're doing here? Can you see how this is unfolded? A deflecting apology. Sorry, but you always overreact. So what they're doing here is they're deflecting. They're putting the blame onto you, that you're overreacting, that you're seeing this in the wrong way, like you're the one that's at fault here, like calm down, love, like it's not such a big deal. But the thing is, it is a big deal for you. And each time this, like what's happening is your feelings, your thoughts, the way that you are is being dismissed. That's what's happening here. Here we've got the strategic apology. This one comes when you pull away, when you put boundaries in place or you leave. And suddenly they are full of remorse. But pay attention. They'll say sorry for losing you. They'll say sorry for being caught, not for what they've done, but for being caught. No accountability, just the desperation. So here's the psychology of why it feels so convincing. And here's where it gets really important. You see, we don't want to feel like this. We don't want to feel upset. But when someone is apologizing, there's that dopamine here, isn't it? There's that dopamine hit of it feeling so good. And your brain is wired for completion. You want the closure and you want to be able to move on because you don't want to stay in this scenario because it's so uncomfortable. Where there's conflict, there's repair, and then we move on. And then there's that moment of hope. You're hoping that things can be repaired. You're hoping that perhaps maybe if this person does say sorry, in some way, kind of, it does make it a little bit better. And it means that they do care. It means that they didn't really mean it. When someone apologizes, it means that they're taking responsibility for their action. In most cases, yes, not with a narcissist. But remember, hope is the hook. If you're living in hope, this is dangerous because you're always going to be hoping. You're always going to be wishing that this person is going to change. So what you're not going to see is what is happening in front of you, the reality of that person. And that is the hook. You want it to be better. I know you love them. I know you care about them. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Of course you do. But this is the hook. This is where it gets dangerous, my friends. You've got to see the reality of the situation. How do you get stopped being in this apology cycle? My friends, if any of this is resonating with you, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below for more details. And please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel because every little one helps, and it's not little, it means the world to me. Thank you. And it will also help other people who are going through this. What you got to do here is you got to look for actions, not words. Not words. People can say anything. They can do, it doesn't mean anything. People say a lot of things, but it doesn't mean anything. You've got to look at the behavior. My friends, you've got to look at the behavior. You've got to check for accountability. So when they apologize, do they change? Are they likely to change? Or is it just something that they say to make you feel better? Or is it something that they say in the moment just to kind of like smooth things over? You have to set boundaries, and there has to be accountability. There has to be some reprimand for their behavior. Why are they saying sorry in the first place? Why? Because they've done something wrong. So there has to be a consequence to their behavior. Can't just allow this person to keep doing the same thing over and over and that's it. So then the next time that you hear an apology and it doesn't sit right or there's something not quite right, use this video or use these tips and suggestions that I've suggested in this video to help you out, because honestly, I'm not just talking about narcissists, I'm just talking about people in general. Okay, ask yourself, is this repair or is this manipulation? And does this person really mean it? Okay, I really hope this video has helped, my friends. I really, really do. Please know that drop a comment below. What's the fakest apology you've ever heard? Drop it in the comments, because I'd love to hear what the fakest apology was that you ever heard from your narcissist. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.